Hey, all you Diablo fans, put the mouse and keyboard down for a minute. It's time for a new episode of the Diablo Dialogue from BlizzPlanet.com. All right, as always, I'm your host, the Bearded Gamer, big Diablo fan right here. Let's get into that weekly news roundup.
Stay a while and listen.
So recently, after what some players have been doing to the Inferno difficulty, just brutalizing Inferno, Blizzard has rolled out some hot fixes to help things out a little bit. Okay, some nerfing's going on. Okay, the Monk's Rune of Protection, nerfed. The Wizard's Force Armor Rune, nerfed. And finally, the Demon Hunter Lingering Fog Rune, nerfed, okay? Now here's the thing, they're all deemed too powerful and they're not being used in their designed ways. They're becoming sort of like go-to must-have items to use to get through the Inferno difficulty, and that's just something Blizzard was steering away from the entire time. They never wanted anything to sort of be, this is what you have to do, this is the build you have to go with. I remember personally at BlizzCon 2011, they were showing like a mage that was built like with a two-handed battle hammer, and it was just, you know, totally just building your characters the way you want and still kicking ass, not having one thing that is required. And so this is, once again, they're nerfing these things to try and pull it back so they aren't like the have-to, must-have thing to get through the Inferno difficulty levels. So next up, we're going to talk more about account security. I know we talked about this last week. We were insisting, encouraging you to get a authenticator. Thank you, Eldorian. Sorry, I have one. I don't know why. I just blanked out on that. Anyway, but we talked about this. There's a lot of hacked accounts. Now, here's the thing. Blizzard has come out and said every one of these hacked account incidents that's happened, they've not had an authenticator linked to the account. That should tell you something. Okay, if you don't have an authenticator, your account could be at risk. And a lot of what this is coming from, very likely, is data mining. It's email data mining. There can be random websites that you'll sign up for and you'll use an email address and a password. This is just a classic phishing technique. Well, if you're using that same email address, which you have to use an email address for battle.net, and the same password, well then, boom, they've got a list of all these email addresses paired up with passwords. They can go looking at bank accounts, battle.net accounts. So something else you can do if for some reason you don't have a smartphone, you don't have the 650, I mean that's not much, to throw down for an authenticator, make sure that your battle.net password isn't being used for anything else. There's all kinds of cool stuff on the internet. Go check out like Wolfram Alpha. You can create a completely randomly generated password through like Wolfram Alpha or a bajillion other things, okay? So just, that's something else you can do to try and keep your account secure. But if you have an authenticator, still be cautious, be wary, and let's keep those protected. Okay, so Real Money Auction House, we're going to talk about it again. Guess what? Can you guess what I'm about to say? Here's the thing. It's been delayed again, this time indefinitely. I know, but I warned you. I said over and over again, don't hold your breath. It's Blizzard. That's kind of their thing. It's done when it's done. In this case, now Diablo 3 is actually running pretty smoothly, but what's coming down to is that the gold auction house is not running well at all right now. So they really got to get the kinks fixed with that because it's pretty much the same system. So they've really got to get one ironed out before they can roll out the Real Money Auction House. So delayed indefinitely at this time. But if it makes you feel any better, you already have Diablo 3. You're cranking away through the different levels, getting all your cool loot and crafting stuff. You're still going to be there when this thing first opens up. You're still going to be in on the ground floor. So, just be patient and it'll get here when it gets here. All right, now we got a big section here for the weekly news roundup with a game design update. So Monday, Blizzard put out a game design update on discussing all kinds of changes and plans going forward. Now, some cool statistics here. 80% of characters are currently level 30 or below. Now, only 1.9% of characters, that's not players, that is characters, have actually unlocked the Inferno difficulty level. And players, on average, have right now 3 characters created. So just some kind of cool statistics right now from the population playing Diablo 3 at this moment. Now, Blizzard is keeping their eyes on Inferno level damage. They don't just want to, play with the damage tables all the time and just have, stuff one-shotting characters. That's no fun if you walk up and something one-shots you. You just, that's how do you prepare for that? It's not fair. What they want instead is to focus on continuous damage. So you're being sort of surrounded by a horde of something or some sort of attack that doesn't do just massive damage all at once, but a continuous stream of a certain kind of damage. So it's much more about, it's a fun way to approach the difficulty. It's about being efficient while you're still taking on a challenge. That's where the focus is, because nobody wants to get one shot. That sucks. Now, they're going to be addressing some complaints that are coming up regarding the power of legendary items. Now, a lot of people have been complaining that, a legendary item, it's called legendary. It should sort of be the end-all, be-all. And Blizzard's saying, no, that's not the case. These legendary weapons aren't what you should be searching for that end-game answer, what you're supposed to have on you. And a lot of people have also been comparing like high-level blue items to low-level legendary items and saying, oh, it's so imbalanced. And that's not the case at all. Well, with the upcoming patch, they're going to be sort of revealing the statistics of these different items, and they're going to show, if you take a high-level blue item and compare it to a high-level legendary item, you're going to see where that power difference is, where that legendary part factors in, and that's where you compare. You can't compare high-level blue to low-level legendary. It's just not fair. So, just keep that in mind, and you just quit complaining and enjoy the game and play. Anyway, something that is indeed not working, however, blacksmiths. Okay, now their leveling and craft costs are supposed to level with you, and they're just flat out not working right now. So, indeed, Blizzard is planning to tweak this in patch 1.0.3 to tweak that a little bit with your training and your crafting cost, just to make that work a little smoother. Now, they're working tirelessly, so they say, on PvP. Of course, the PvP got pushed back. They said it just wasn't ready, and they didn't want it to delay the whole game. And while I'm sure we all appreciate Blizzard for that, we don't want to wait even longer to get our Diablo 3. Some of us are now waiting for the PvP to finally roll out. Well, like they said, they're working tirelessly on it. That's their words. And they do plan on running a player test realm ahead of the actual release of the PvP. So those of you that are just itching to get it, before too long, we should be seeing, now, no time frame, okay, a player test realm to get in on the PvP. Granted, it's a test realm, so it'll have bugs and things, and they'll want you to report, but you will be able to get in there and see what it's like before it fully rolls out to the public. Now, before we call it quits on this video, we have a new segment for you. Now, this one is going to be not so much news, not so much, the current events going on with Diablo 3, but more really cool facts and things maybe you just didn't know or had never heard of about Diablo, the whole Diablo franchise, and it's just some really cool stuff. So we're going to start it off with the very first segment of Diabolical Disclosures.
What a monstrous creature!
So for this one, we're going to travel back in time a little bit, 1996, okay? So when the first Diablo was getting ready to come out, Blizzard Entertainment teamed up with PC Magazine, all right? We didn't have really the internet back then, I remember, yeah. So if people wanted to run contests, you generally had to go through a magazine, some sort of print publication. Yes, they're called magazines. They had pictures and words in them, and they were on bound paper. I know, it's crazy, right? But yeah, that's how you did it. And they were on this contest that basically said, someone could have their name, a character in Diablo, named after them. And there was a newborn baby named Deckard Cain Elder. And his father, wrote in, sent in the postcard, and was randomly chosen to win. Got a letter from Bill Roper. Here you can see, this is little Deckard Cain Elder, not really grown up yet, but 16, so grown somewhat tall at least. But his dad received a free copy of Diablo, a Diablo statue, which you also see there, and a free t-shirt. And recently, little Deckard Cain Elder posted on Reddit that, as you can see, they still have the statue and the letter, and that's just pretty awesome. And the kid is forever known as Deckard Cain. I mean, the guy who identifies stuff in Tristram. That's him, and that's pretty cool, right? Okay, so let's finish it off, as we usually finish off the Diablo dialogue, with a question. Pose a question to you. I'll say, now that we're 2 weeks past the release of Diablo 3, how far have you gotten? Have you beaten normal? Have you unlocked Inferno? Are you one of those crazy, weird people that it's actually beaten Inferno already? We want to know, and don't lie. We'll know. Trust me. The beard, It's like it's like a truth serum. I just know I can read through the BS, okay? So throw it down in the comments. Let us know, how far have you gotten? What have you accomplished so far in your first 2 weeks of Diablo 3? And while you're on YouTube, of course, check out Bearded Gamer Show, my show, comics, beards, all kinds of video game stuff, not just Blizzard stuff, everything you need to know right there. And of course, BlizzPlanet.com, news, reviews, great community, everything you need to know about Blizzard Entertainment games. We'll see you next time.